Hi, I am ASIF Jalal. Welcome to the class 3 of Python series. Today I am going to teach you how and why we write commands in Python. Then we see the precedence of operators in Python. So what is precedence level? We will discuss it in this video. Then we see what is syntax and syntax error in programming. So let's start today's video. Why commands are used? Commands can be used to explain Python code. As we write code, we have to explain it to ourselves and to our colleagues, as we have to work on any organization. So there are multiple developers works on the single application or a single project. So you have to write the code which everybody can understand it. For this, you can use commands. Commands are the handy for it. Commands are the tools to explain your code to yourself and to others. And I said to yourself. Why yourself? Because after some time, we have to modify our application. For this, you have to understand the code which you have write before. So whenever you understand the code easily, you can modify it also. So commands can be used to make the code more readable. Whenever you write the commands, your code will be more readable. As Python is designed for the readability, as other programming languages lack this readability concept. Every programmer use their own way of styling their code, but Python restrict this style of code. Python restrict it by using the indentation. We will discuss it in the coming videos how we will use indentation to write the code, as Python throw error if we do wrong indentation of our code. So commands can be used to make the code more readable. And the third point is commands can be used to prevent execution when testing code. Programmers mostly use these commands to prevent the execution of specific line for the testing purpose. Now let's discuss how to use commands in Python. In Python, commands starts with a hash sign. We use hash sign to tell the interpreter of the Python that we are writing the commands. Python does not support multi-line commands. There is a two solution for multi-line commands in Python. One is we use hash single consecutively for each line of code, and the other solution is to use multi-line strings for the commands. This is a good way of comment out multi-line strings. So the third point is commands can be placed at the end of the line and Python will ignore the rest of the line. Let's discuss all of these points in my Jupyter notebook. I open my Jupyter notebook. Let's write a simple line: print hello world. I run this, it runs fine. Now I wanna explain this code in my Jupyter notebook. How to explain this code by using hash symbol, and I write this is hello world program. So I have explained this code to myself that this is hello world program. When I run this application, it does not throw any error, or it does not print it in the outputs. So Python ignore the lines which have hash symbol in their start point. So now if I wanna do multi-line commands, we can use this hash symbol again and write this is second line, and then again use this is third. So by this way we can also write multi-line commands, but it is not looking pleasant. So for this we can use multi-line strings. So how to write multi-line string? Put triple inverted commas, and your commands will be inside these three inverted commas. This is so as you can see that I does not write hash sign for each line of code. We just put triple inverted commas and insert my text inside these triple inverted commas. So it works fine. Let's discuss these third point. Commands can be placed at the end of a line. So what does it mean by this line? So we can comment out this way. So as you can see that whenever I run this, it works fine. So I can also put the commands after completing the code. So this is another way of commenting out the line. Now let's discuss some operators in Python. Operators basically are used to perform operations on the variables or the values of the variables. So operators are used to perform different operations on the variables. So there are multiple type of operators, but we will discuss some operators for the purpose of their order of evaluation. So if we write a equals 5, run this, b equals 6. Now I am using two variables, a has 5 and b has 6. So if I add them together, what the result? 11. So here I use plus operator. Now here is the question arises, if we use multiple operators in the single line as 4 plus 5 multiply by 6. Now how Python evaluate this line? So the solution is Python use precedence of operators, and Python has different precedence level for each operator. As you can see that parentheses has the highest order. So whenever Python interpreter find parentheses, so the Python interpreter first evaluate it and then go outside. So for the second is exponential operator. Exponential operator has higher precedence level than unary operator and multiplication division operators. So multiplication, division, floor division and modulus have the same precedence level, and plus and minus has also the same precedence level, and then there are other operators like less than, greater than and equal to and not equal to, and some Boolean operators like not, and or. So all of these have their own precedence level in Python. So let's discuss one by one. Now as you can see that I write this expression, let's run this. So it says 34. As we are not using parentheses, so how the Python evaluate this? Python have evaluate first time 5 multiplied by 6. As multiplication has higher priority, so Python execute 5 multiplied by 6, which is 30, and then 30 is added into 4 and the result is 34. If you go from left to right, the result will be different, like 4 plus 5 is 9, so 9 multiplied by 6 will be 54. So this way Python execute this expression. So the operator which has higher priority, higher precedence level, Python interpreter execute it first and then it will go on for other operators. So if there is a parenthesis around the 4 plus 5, then Python will execute first 4 plus 5 and then it will multiply by 6. Let's see, it's for 54. Now Python interpreter evaluate this expression from left to right because of the parentheses. As multiplication has higher priority, higher precedence level than plus, but whenever we use parentheses, it will evaluate first and then it go for multiplication. Now there is another case. As you can see that multiplication and division has the same order of precedence. So what if we use in the single line? If we use multiplication and division without parentheses in the single line, what happens? It says 12. How Python interpret this expression? Whenever you use same precedence level operator, the Python interpret it as from left to right. It first execute 4 multiplied by 6, which is 24, and then it divide 24 by 2. It gives 12. So this way Python works. There is another possibility that if we use multiple parentheses like this. So if we use multiple parentheses, how Python interpreter execute it? The first time Python execute 4 plus 5, its results will be 9, and then this 9 will be subtracted from 2 and its result will be 7, and this 7 will be multiplied by 2, which result is 14. So if we use multiple parentheses in your mathematical expression, then Python interpret it from inside to outside. I hope your concept will be clear here. Now this is very important, as there is a multiple interview questions and entry level test in programming have these type of questions like precedence level of operators. So practice it as much as you can. This is very important concept in programming. So let's discuss what is syntax. Syntax are the grammatical rules of the programming language. Every programming language has different rules. So we have to follow these rules while writing the program. Just like the English language. English language has their own rules for speaking and writing. Also programming languages has also their own rules. So we have to follow these rules. If you violate these grammatical rules of the programming language, you get the error. This error we called as syntax error. Let's discuss this with practical example. I wanna print my hello world. So when I run this application, it's throw an syntax error. It says syntax error, invalid syntax. So where the invalid syntax, I forget to use single or double quotes around the hello world string. So by this way, whenever you put this, it gets fine. It's run fine. So if you violate these rules, grammatical rules, you get syntax error. So I hope you understand this class. If you have any question about today's topic, let me know in the comments box. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Also share my videos to the other people so that many people get benefit from these videos. Thanks for watching my video. Goodbye.